you'll need to measure around the head, the base of the neck, under the underarms, around the chest, below the chest, around the waist, and at the hips. When making measurements, you'll need to measure around the head. And the reason for that is I want to make sure that your sweater fits over your head and then onto your body. So when you take this measurement, it's not necessarily important where you put the measuring tape as long as you make sure it fits around the head in a way that your sweater will fit over your head. When measuring the neckline, you could take a lanyard or another chain and lay it around the base of the neck with the weight on it, and that will give you an idea of where the natural neckline base is. If you measure the neck, what happens is it'll actually be smaller than the base of the neck itself. And let's say you have a crew neck, you actually want the crew neck to lay at the base of the neck, not at the top. This also helps when I have the measurement around the base of the neck for me to adjust for any V-lines or any neck depths that you want. So you'll lay it across the base of the neck. And this is how it should look. Whenever you take measurements, it might be easier for you to mark the horizontal points on the person's body. So you'll need the upper bust, the bust line, the under bust, the waist, and the hips. For the upper bust line, you need the string to go around completely underneath the underarms, as high up in the underarms as possible. For the bust line, you'll need to have the highest part of the bust. For the under bust, it's right below the chest. And then for the waist, to figure out where the waistline is, ask your model to bend from each side. And then you'll kind of see where, and bend to the other side. You'll kind of see where the bends are between the upper torso and the bottom torso, and that's where your waistline would be. Then for the hips, what I do ask is if you're measuring around the hip line, you don't necessarily need the widest point of the hips. You most likely need the point where you want your sweater to fall. So she would like her sweater to fall right below her belt loops, and that's where the string is going to be. Whenever you tie the strings, it is best to make sure that the string all the way around the body is horizontal to the ground. If for some reason it's not horizontal because she's leaning to one side or the other naturally, maybe her spine is curved, then you line it up the best you can, and then we'll take measurements accordingly. You might need more measurements than what I'm asking for in order to make your sweater fit to match the curve of your spine.